Okay. We're gonna use morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, from all over the planet, wherever you guys are. This is your boy ATP, or you can also say Aidenthepayden. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate in medicine. Every person has the ability to use a search engine to Google that. My specialty, actually, just so you know, I am a regular person. I am a Homo sapien, but my specialty, other than living my own regular life, is basically studying plants in their natural habitats, like this one, herbs, food, in a sense, that's going to make the body not just absorb the vital nutrients and protein from that, but food that's literally monosaccharide. And what monosaccharide is basically consists of three things: fructose, galactose, and glucose. And when I analyzed all of these things, I came to the understanding that a person doesn't have to have a certificate in order to, let's say, study medicine, or let's say study the body, but it is imperative, and it is imperative, and it is the proper actual route to take if you actually want to do something like what I'm doing. It's great to actually get the proper education, the proper studying, the proper schooling, and the proper certificates. So, being that I've said that, me, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a doctor. I don't have any certificate, in medicine, but a person doesn't necessarily has to have a certificate in medicine in order to study and learn about the human body, because when it comes to the human body, no person is going to understand and know the human body or your own body better than yourself. And when I studied my body and plants in its natural habitat, I would say my body is, in a sense, not the same as your body, but we all are Homo sapien. There's two species of human on this planet, male and female. Male happens to be XY chromosome, female happens to be XX chromosome. So if there were something that's wrong with the male counterpart, like, I could basically refer to a male, and it should be vice versa with the other species. But the one thing that I'm looking into is this thing that's called MS, abbreviation for multiple sclerosis. Ladies and gentlemen, I just found a way how to alleviate that. We cannot use cure on this channel. We don't use that word. So viewers discretion advised. We don't use the word cure on the YouTube platform. We use alleviate, because I'm not trying to get this channel shut down. But what I'm looking at is, like, MS tends to be a central nervous system discomfort. All right, let's just do this real fast because I only have around 10 more minutes. All right, so the human body is consist of carbs, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Each one of these, let's say, elements basically makes up the human body. I don't necessarily know the percentage of what each one of those elements, what is carb, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. All right, so we got the central nerve, which is name, eliminating, processing, and stuff like that. So we got the central nervous system, we got the endocrine system, we got the integumentary system, we got the circulatory system, we got the respiratory system, we got the lymphatic system, we got the immune system, we got the skeletal system, we got did I say the lymphatic system? I did say the lymphatic system. Did I say the endocrine system? I did say the endocrine system. Did I say the gastrointestinal system? Like, there's so many systems. So if we're dealing with multiple sclerosis, right? MS tends to be a central nervous system discomfort. So with the central nervous system discomfort, The central nervous system is normally is an attachment to the optic nerves. The optic nerves is an extension to the happy hormones. So now we're dealing with the optic nerve. So if a person has MS, normally you will have some form of discomfort, loss of vision, stuff like that within the eye. If you've started to have loss of vision and stuff like that within the eye, actually a big problem, because anything that's wrong with the eye, you have also have the ability to develop cataract, and cataract leads into blindness. So if it's a central nervous system discomfort, remember the central nervous system is literally an attachment to those three things. It's your optic nerves, and then that could basically mess up your eyes, and then it's the happy hormones. Now the happy hormones is like 7 different happy hormones, and these hormones plays a major role in your regular life and what you do and your mood swings and stuff like that. So a person may feel tired, a person may feel fatigue is another way of saying tired, low on energy. We're gonna get back to that low and tired and low on energy, because we're dissecting and we are actually decoding these things. So low on energy, fatigue, we're gonna have pain. Anywhere there's fatigue, there's pain. Tiredness most likely comes from the feet or the legs. So let's say we're gonna have pain or some form of discomfort within the arms and the leg, right? But what I'm realizing is that there's this word, it's called myelin, the myelin. Your myelin is like, it's like this it's not an organ. It's like this sheet. It's like this layer of protective sheath that protects like these things in your spinal cord or your spinal fluid, which is like basically the same thing. But we're going to get to that, because we're also going to get back to the energy, right? So the myelin is like literally within the spinal fluid, and that's very important, because there's also something else that's within the spinal fluid. And if something is actually wrong with the myelin, we also have to help our B blood cell, because the B blood cells actually lives in the myelin. Whenever we're having a B blood cell discomfort in the myelin sheen, therefore we're having like this thing that's called an antigen response. An antigen response is basically a response, like the B blood cell receptors is responding to, let's say, something that's wrong, or something that's going on in your body, like some virus or something that's unnatural. So it brings that response. When that response comes, then you have something that's called an antibody response, which an antibody response is naturally within the circulatory system. So the circulatory system is actually where your hemo is. The hemo happens to be the hemoglobin, which are the red blood cells. Red blood cells actually carries oxygen throughout the whole body system. Now the white blood cells is actually throughout that system, waiting for antibody attacks or something like that. I don't want to lose any person that's on this channel. So we're dealing with a central nervous system discomfort when it comes to MS. We're also dealing with an optic nerve system with the eyes, a lot of pain in the body. Let's say something is wrong in a sense with the endocrine system, because the central nervous system is actually an attachment to the endocrine system. The endocrine system is actually a messenger system. The central nervous system is actually a messenger system. Did you know that your eyes actually sees certain messages, and sunlight goes through these through the lens, and then the retina of the eyes like ricocheted and back at you? Like, it's so amazing when you learn about the body. then you're not just that too, because then the the central nervous system is an attachment to the eye, and then your happy hormones. So it depends on how you feel and your mood. And when I dissect these things and I decode it, I'm like, a person, if like anyone out there that's actually suffering from MS, yeah, like this may be bad for the person. They may feel scared because they don't have help, you know. But all you have to do is just like do your research and know the physiology of what this autoimmune discomfort is. And we actually have, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. We actually have ways of alleviating that, because all it is just a messenger system response. And I'll teach you. And how I'm going to teach you is like this. First, right? First of all, we have this thing inside of our body that's called ATP. Remember, my name actually is ATP. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. I started this video like that. ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, that's actually responsible for the body's functioning of energy, mitochondria. So a person suffering with MS, you're going to do your research and you're going to alleviate this problem yourself. And I'm going to help you with that. So everyone, go grab your pen and your paper. Remember, I am not a doctor. So grab your pen and your paper and let's do this. I have around 5 more minutes before I got to go to work. And it's like literally like 7 or 6 things that you got to do. First thing you got to do, and this is the first thing you got to do when it comes to MS. Understand the symptoms and what it do to your body, and if it is actually in central nervous system discomfort, which the central nervous system is actually a messenger system, and that's attached to several other systems. So therefore, these several other systems, something is blocking messages from going through to these other systems, and that's why we have MS. And how it is like ATP, mitochondria, ATP is responsible for the body's functioning of energy. So a person suffering from MS, they are actually electrolytes deficiency. To be electrolytes deficiency, your body, your kidneys in your body is not absorbing enough electrolytes, or perhaps you don't have enough electrolytes in your diet. So that's one. We're going to put that on the paper. So electrolytes deficiency, that meaning you need more electrolytes in your body. Whenever you have more electrolytes, now you're going to have, your activated mitochondria, your body could move and work. So that's one, right? You need actually more sunlight. See, photosynthesis, which happens to be ultraviolet ray. You're actually, I don't know if this is a word, but sun deficiency, which tends to be vitamin D deficiency. So we got electrolytes over there, and we got vitamin D deficiency over there. So you need electrolytes, you need vitamin D, but the way how you're going to get these vitamin D, you're actually going to use monosaccharide. Monosaccharide happens to be fruits. Fructose, glucose, and galactose. You're not going to be drinking milk. Milk happens to be galactose. You're going to be taking fructose and glucose. Any one of those properties, fruits and vegetables that gives vitamin D, you're going to be eating that. And that's also going to stimulate the gastrointestinal system. When that stimulates the gastrointestinal system, it's actually increasing your own microbiota. You have these microscopic organism that's living inside of the gastrointestinal system. And not just that too, these organisms are both good and bad. So the more monosaccharide you eat inside of your body that actually have life inside of it with its own electrical input, each and every food has its own electrical input. So as long as it's natural, given by God, fruits and vegetables, monosaccharide, you're going to eat that. It stimulates the gastrointestinal system by adding this substance that I like to call inulin. Inulin is different from insulin, but inulin increases your own fighting force, gives you a better fighting force with those microbiota inside of the gastrointestinal system. So we're gonna be adding inulin, we're gonna be adding electrolytes, and we're inulin. What did I say? Inulin, right? That's one. That's more fruits and vegetables. Electrolytes, that's mitochondria. You're adding more energy to your body, and vitamin D, that's vital for your body, as well as you're gonna be going outside in the sun. Now, there's certain things that you also have to do, and that's like you actually have to be sleeping like 10 hours a day, because your body is going to need rest. And in order for the body to actually detox and get rid of this discomfort that you're having, whenever you're resting, these herbs that I'm going to tell you about is actually going to be fighting off everything that's going on inside of your body. And that's the marshmallow root, right? With the marshmallow root is actually going to stimulate the central nervous system, and the central nervous system being stimulated, that's going to calm the optic nerves and the happy hormones, right? So that's one. Also, we're going to do a little bit of wormwood. So, wait a second, I'm getting a phone call. Okay. All right. So, we're going to use the marshmallow root. We're going to use the wormwood. We're going to use the burdock root. We're going to use cat's claw and the milk thistle, which happens to be the Silybum marianum. Yeah, we're going to use everything. That's the burdock root, milk thistle. Listen, guys, burdock root, milk thistle, marshmallow root. We're gonna use cat's claw, and you could use a little bit of dandelion roots too. Those are gonna like break down inflammation within the blood, which happens to be the hemo. Also, if a person most likely has MS or multiple sclerosis, that means they most likely have like bad bilirubin level. And what that is like a person isn't basically eating enough orange or yellow fruits and vegetables. Like I said, certain orange and yellow fruits and vegetables has vitamin D inside of it, and that actually increases the bilirubin level. The bilirubin is actually responsible for your hemo, which happens to be your hemoglobin level, and gives you a better circulatory response within the blood. So when it comes to MS, it's like several things that's actually wrong with your body, and how to really alleviate that. Just got to change your diet and eat fruits and vegetables, take a couple of herbs, sleep, get a lot of sunlight. Thank you for listening. ATP, I'm out.